Autism Spectrum Disorder is characterized by a wide range of symptoms and challenges that can vary significantly from person to person. It is considered a spectrum because each individual with autism is unique in their abilities and needs. In our earlier episodes, we have heard of autistic individuals flying commercial drones. It goes on to prove that with a little support and TLC, this lifelong condition can be improved upon in terms of quality of life. Today's guest is a change maker whose passion for autistic children is rooted in deep personal experience. Holly is a native Houstonian and lives in Humble, Texas with her husband MD Odogwu, and five children. She is an author and a life group coordinator. She holds a bachelor's degree in organizational leadership and graduated summa cum laude from Arizona State University. Welcome to the podcast, Holly.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
I loved the idea of when I was reading about it, I saw faith. So I was wondering whether it is about religion and things like that. But then I saw Faith is the name of your daughter, and I think that's where it all started, right? You started to think about starting a nonprofit for faith.
It is, yes. A lot of people do make that correlation because my husband is a pastor that it was about religious, but actually it is a
Uh-huh.
person. It's our daughter. And it was the journey of recognizing, okay, she has autism. So it's the journey of autism meeting faith. So it's very much a person. And it was our journey in discovering it and accepting, like, wow, there's something that we didn't even know about. And now it's just kind of thrust upon our lives. And
Right.
learning how to help her and cope with it ourselves and then eventually help other parents. And that's what why we started this, is because we realized the struggle that we went through in getting her evaluated and then getting her the support she needed. Other parents do that too. And so that was what began it. And she is the inspiration behind it. And she's so cute because she says, "Oh, this is my charity." And we say, "Yeah." And we tell her, "And you're going to help lots of people." And so she is very involved in it. She knows that she's going to be the face of it. And anytime we tell her, like, "Look, we got this grant, we get to send money to these kids," she gets very excited about it.
Yeah, I see all happy faces and of faith on the website, and that's really beautiful. So I'm sure you had a lot of challenges when she was first diagnosed with autism. So what made you determined to help other families? I understand that the challenges were hard enough, but apart from your own challenges, you are actually taking the effort to help other people. So what was this specific thing that made you do this?
It was actually in the process of her going through occupational therapy. Her therapist, I was sharing with her all the resources that I was finding for Faith because thankfully I had the time to just scour the internet for resources for her and find out different things to set her up, not just now, but when she's an adult. And I was sharing it with her occupational therapist, and her therapist was like, "Do you mind if I write this down? Because I have so many families that ask me, but I don't know." Which makes sense because she's not an autism specialist, she's an occupational therapist. So when she was asking me to share information that I had found, I came home and told my husband, and he's like, she's not the only person who doesn't know where to find these things or doesn't have the time. And a lot of parents with special needs kids, their child is a little more extreme on the spectrum and need more help. Their child might be nonverbal, their child might have um, more severe developmental delays, so they don't have that extra time that I had to look up resources and call places. And that's where we realized, okay, we can help parents do that. We can help them and ease that burden. And so that's kind of what started it, or it is what started it.
Yeah, that's just amazing. You wanting to do something outside of your, I won't say outside, but something to do for others. That's really, really magnanimous of you. So you mentioned that expenses are a significant concern. So what are the financial challenges that parents of autistic children face, and what is the immediate need that they require?
Mhm. It's amazing. A lot of people don't think about the additional expenses. They think, okay, it's your child, you're just raising them. But typically, to raise a child, you'll spend maybe $200,000. And I'm just quoting general, based on a few years ago. However, to raise a special needs child, a parent is going to spend upwards of $1 million over the child's lifetime. And that's simply because it can happen because the child needs therapy and they have to pay copays. And it's not just speech therapy, it could be music therapy, swim lessons, different things like that. Plus, it's the sensory equipment a child will need, especially for a nonverbal child. They might need a communication device. It's called an AAC device. And basically, you could use an iPad and download a software on it that allows the child to speak to the parent, but just the software alone is $400. And that's on the cheap end. Then they're
Mm-hmm.
in school, they might need equipment to help them in school, such as pencil grips, little things that can add up. And then also, you have to take into account the lost time from work of a parent. Because a lot of times you'll have an autistic child and
I
the
am
school will be like,
sure,
look, your
yes.
child's having a meltdown, you have to come and get them. And so the parent is losing out on work. So that's where the expenses come in. And it can be very stressful for the parent. And if the parent is stressed, then the child is going to be stressed. And so that's really one of the things we just started, thanks to a few grants that have come in, is we are able to offer grants now to help a little bit with therapy. We also every year do a Christmas toy giveaway. So all the local families in the Humble and Greater Houston area get to come and receive free Christmas presents. We give away bikes to help with occupational therapy, weighted blankets, all kinds of things, just kind of help ease that burden and help the child.
Wonderful. It's quite a challenge, I believe. But do you have any specific programs or services that you offer to address these concerns? I mean, offering help is one thing, but do you have therapy sessions that are, given voluntarily by people who come to your nonprofit, or do you have services that are, helping out with mental health of maybe parents? What are the
Right,
programs that you run?
right now we have not in-person resources, but we have resources on our website with frequently asked questions on autism, how to identify signs, things like that. We are launching where we're going to be having events, and they will be online events like Zoom events, because a lot of times parents can't get away from their child or they can't find a babysitter that can handle an autistic child. So we really want to focus on the online events, and we actually just brought on a member who is a resource teacher, and she works with the local school district. So she is someone who can help with parents. A lot of questions we get is, what do I expect in an ARD meeting, which is a meeting about the child's disability and what kind of accommodations they're going to put in the school. And a lot of times parents don't know what to expect with that. So that will be our first one, is hosting a live event for parents on that, training on there. We do also have a link on our website to the World Health Organization, which has a very good packet on training on autism and understanding the diagnosis. And then beyond that, the therapy grant that we offer goes out to parents. And we've sent that to people for, I mean, I've had a lady ask for music therapy, help with that. She said it's really helped her nonverbal child. So we do that. And they get a birthday card for all the kids that are registered with us, because a lot of times these kids are, without friends. They don't connect easily with other people. And so we try and help them see, hey, somebody cares about you.
Yeah. So let's talk about Faith here. She has five brothers and sisters.
Yeah. So she has two brothers and two sisters. There's a total of five of them. Yeah.
Right. And so it's a very happy environment at home, I believe. So Faith has the support, but there are other families that probably do not have this kind of support in terms of siblings. So, how do you socialize those children? Are there programs for making sure that they have that social interaction?
There's a lot of times will join with other local nonprofits on events. We haven't hosted one singularly on our own. We usually partner with other people and with mom groups so that the kids can come together at local parks and things like that. We try and keep it simple and low key so that the kids don't get overwhelmed, and keep it short. That's a big thing, is we try not to do some event that's going to be all day because the child will get tired and overstimulated.
Right. Let's take a break to understand what Chezuba is. Everyone at some point ponders on how this beautiful life can be made more meaningful. Maybe you're a leader trying to enhance your employees' experience at your organization. Or you already work for the community and seek volunteers with state of the art skills to strengthen your nonprofit. Whatever your situation, know that you can make a difference. Chezuba began with this very vision, a vision to facilitate every skill and every passion in the world in meeting a social need. Corporate volunteering has several benefits for both businesses and organizations. In parallel, experienced and enthusiastic volunteers join NGO workers, enabling them to serve the community more effectively. Chezuba offers everyone looking to add purpose and meaning to their lives a chance to connect or volunteer virtually with nonprofit organizations from over 100 countries around the world. Visit www.chezuba.net and explore opportunities to find meaning. Chezuba, your platform to do good. And now, back with our guest. What would your advice to, so you're talking only about autistic children, right? Or do you also talk about autistic adults?
Right now, we're focused on just children
Children.
because that's our experience. But we do know, especially Faith will grow up, and we do expect to expand our services. We're in our second year right now, and we serve 105 children, was the last
That's a lot.
number that I got. So as we grow, we do expect to help with that transition service and the adult community, because we do get a lot of questions from other people asking, hey, do you have anything for adults? Unfortunately, not
Hmm.
yet, but it is in our growth plan.
Great. Well, good luck with that. And let's talk about the team at Autism Meets Faith. When you have, challenging situations every single day, it must be a tough job to stay positive, to stay motivated all the time. Who do you have on your team, and how do you stay motivated?
Our team is actually really great. I think we have really some strong people. Of course, we have my husband, Michael David. He, like I said, he's a pastor. He was born and raised in Nigeria and made his way over here. So he definitely has a lot of grit and endurance and perseverance and overcoming challenges and new situations. Then our we have her name is Teresa, and she's actually based in Pennsylvania, but she was a registered nurse, and now she also went to the mental health side. So she has a lot of experience with that and understanding autism, as well as some of the disorders that can come with it, like ADHD and things like that that parents face. Then we have his name is David, and he's an entrepreneur and business owner. So he really understands the grassroots and growing something from the beginning. And he is all about just getting the word out there. So he's great in that area. Then we have Daphne. She's the one I told you is the resource inclusion specialist, and she oversees the charter school down in South Houston. And so her expertise on that area and how to help parents with getting the resources for their kids in school is wonderful. And then we have just we just brought on a marketing specialist, and she's been really great with helping us raise awareness, because that's the biggest thing, is letting people know that there's help out there,
Yeah,
and
right.
raising awareness about autism so that people don't hide from it, because that's the worst thing for a child, is a parent that is too nervous to come out and say my child needs help. So that's really a big part of it, and that's really where she's helping us. And then we have numerous volunteers that just any way they can, they want to help, whether it's writing the birthday cards and sending them out for us, or responding to emails, things like that.
Right. And then you have this podcast where you're telling the world that you are doing good work, and they can connect with you.
It is.
Of course,
And I was so amazed at it, because I was thinking that, you can turn on the TV and hear the news and you just focus on the bad. But then I was looking at your podcast and all the amazing other organizations. I was like,
positives.
people out
Yes,
there doing good. Like people want to help humanity. You just have to know where to look. And it's so great that you're
exactly.
amplifying that.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. So, do you have virtual volunteering opportunities as well? Because Chezuba offers virtual volunteering.
We do have virtual opportunities. Definitely anybody that wants to help on social media or anyone that just wants to respond to emails, we definitely have any of those on the tech side that somebody could help with us. Even someone that's savvy with writing letters to businesses to get sponsorship for events or get matching grants, things like that. There's tons of opportunities virtually. And like I said, it doesn't matter what part of the US, even though we're in Humble, we have families registered with us all over the US. I was so surprised. We got one from Nova Scotia and I
Huh?
reached out to them. I said, we're not based there, but I'm intrigued to see how we can help you. So, but so far we've just sent them a birthday card. But so we're getting responses from people all over just looking for assistance and help.
That's great. That's great. Because I think autism is a disorder that is affecting people worldwide, right? It's not something restricted to an area or something. So you can definitely collaborate with more organizations and find out what can be the best way to deal with it. Because after all, from what I last looked up the web, autism is increasing. Uh, the number of cases are increasing. I wonder why, though. But it
I
is.
think it's more that people are recognizing what it is. And
Mhm.
also, it used to be stigmatized where you'll
Now
hear
it's not.
people of a certain age still say, oh, your child just needs a spanking because the child's having a meltdown, and they don't understand a meltdown is not a temper tantrum. A meltdown is a
Hmm.
child that's overstimulated. So I think now with the numbers increasing, it's now 1 in 36 kids, where just a few years ago it was 1 in 44 kids was diagnosed with it. So I think it's just that people are getting over that fear and stigma of saying, yes, I have an autistic child, and also recognizing the symptoms and the signs that yes, my child is autistic, and then being okay with saying they're autistic, but I'm going to fight for them, I'm going to advocate for them, and I'm going to get them the help they need. Because with Faith, when she was first evaluated for it, I she had a lot of regression in behaviors. Like she could no longer ride a bike, she would get upset if somebody was singing to the radio, and it was actually her doctor who caught it. And
Hmm.
that's why those yearly visits with your pediatrician are so important, because
So
the doctor
important.
caught it. And then we actually had two opinions. We got her evaluated from two different places because it was something we didn't know about. And so
Hmm.
once she got diagnosed and started receiving the therapy services, it was almost like a 180 with her. She became more relaxed with other people. She didn't have as
Hmm.
many meltdowns, and she wasn't as overloaded in school, and she could handle the other kids. She could handle if somebody was singing on the radio, which she couldn't before. So overcoming that fear of saying, yes, my child has autism, and being willing to help them really makes a difference in the child's life.
True, true, and so important for people to accept it and face it. Well, what are your plans? Like you mentioned, of course, as faith grows up, you will expand into adult autism. But other than that, what are the plans that you have? What is the immediate need that you have right now?
The immediate need for us is a building, and that's going to be our end of year fundraising, is home for the holidays. And that's because currently when we have events, we have to rent space out. We've been blessed with this one lady that has a dance studio locally, and she does allow us to use her space free of charge for any event we have. However, that doesn't allow us to invite families to come and have these trainings and courses that we would like to have more in person, to give them that option. So it's getting a building where we can have our offices and training classes.
Absolutely. I wish you luck with that, Holly. I
Thank you.
wish you have a nice big building where you are able to accommodate as many people as you want to and to conduct these lovely events to create awareness.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And it's like the quote: start by doing what's necessary, then do what is possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible.